All right, so let's get into it. For those of you who don't know my story, just a few years ago, I was homeless. Yes, homeless, nowhere to live, living out of my vehicle, lost the vehicle, sleeping in public restrooms, sleeping in public parks, stuff like that. And so today, I'm able to notice a lot of things where I can look at it and go, that person's probably homeless. And I've seen some heartbreaking things. I've seen kids. This probably crushed my heart one day. I was getting coffee, and I saw this truck pull over, and I saw the kids get out. They were twins, little handsome fellas, probably, I don't know, 5th, 6th grade, something like that or less. And they got out, their mom got out, started kind of combing their hair, trying to get their uniforms on. And I knew right away that these people were probably homeless, probably living in their vehicle. Saw a guy today, his vehicle's got canned goods and whatnot stacked in the back, not the newer canned goods, like whatever you can get out of your house before you get evicted, kind of like that. So I see a lot of signs where I can interpret it as this person or this family's probably homeless, and you guys are probably seeing it more and more often. I mean, if the car is packed, I'm not talking about just stacked with things. I'm talking about packed. They can't even see out the back. Everything that they can get of their personal belongings into that vehicle, they're packing it in there. And so now you're starting to see people living in storages because storages are cheaper. You're starting to see people rent offices. This is something I've done. This is not a how to survive being homeless video, but hey, if you find any nuggets, you're welcome to fry them up and cook them and eat them. Okay, so I was homeless. Whenever I got off the streets, I was able to get an office. The office, and this was years ago. The office was, I want to say, like $300, and apartments were like $7. And so I don't know what offices cost today. If you're in the middleman class, you know you don't need an office. You can run the business from your phone. By the way, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. Welcome to the channel. And if you want to learn how to start a business from your phone, a middleman business without leaving your house, put the word middleman in the comments to get the free training. So I spent a lot of days out there. I was out there for about 3 months, and it was not a good feeling, and I never want to go back to that. But I see a lot of people out here now that are struggling. I'm starting to see these videos online, more and more people who are starting to move into I call them shelters now, storage units. Get a climate controlled storage unit. It's actually pretty smart. It keeps you from being outside. Get a climate controlled storage unit, move into those storage units. Rent an office, move into those offices. You're seeing a lot of downgrades where people are downgrading their lifestyle from a house to an apartment, from a nice apartment to a not so great apartment, to living with a friend or sleeping on a couch or living in somebody's basement. And that's where we are today. Unfortunately, we are in a situation where the average person, and let's be honest, most people, the average represent the majority of people in America, probably 85% of people in America, 8 out of 10 people are struggling financially. If they lose their job today, within 30 days, they could lose everything. And there are people, and it's not even always about how much money you make. There are people who make 6 figures a year, well over 6 figures a year, and because of their expenses, if they lose the 6 figures, they could be paycheck to paycheck or struggling very, very quickly. And so there are a lot of people, again, who are struggling financially and moving into storage units, and that's just what you're going to see today. You're going to see more of that. Why? Because the inflation is here, greed is here. You mix inflation with greed, you got a real problem. You got the ingredients for disaster, financially speaking. And so what do I mean by that? Well, inflation's a real thing. Remember in 2020 when everybody was sent home and they started flooding the economy with fake money nobody was actually working for. The government was just printing money and sending it to people. That money flooded the economy. In fact, a lot of times it was more money. Now, don't get me wrong, it was your money because you work for it and the government taxes you. But that money with no production, the restaurant's not even open, but their workers are being paid more than they ever made in the restaurant. and they're not even getting off their couch. Well, that's helicopter money. That's money flooding into the economy out of nowhere. Money should come from production, but when it doesn't come from production, it's fiat. And that money comes, it just means fake. So that money comes from nowhere, and then now that money floods the economy. Well, what does more money in the economy do to the goods? It drives the cost of goods up. This is supply and demand, one of the few things I learned in high school. So now more money chasing the same goods, more people trying to buy the same house, price of the house goes up. Less people trying to buy the same house, price of the house goes down. Again, supply and demand. And so money started flooding the economy, buying everything. So the price of everything was skyrocketing up. And all of a sudden, you have a ridiculous amount of inflation in the economy. Well, the last administration, the Biden administration, who helped us get to the hyperinflation, I call it, tried to bring us out of it. I don't know how much they were trying to. And the reason I say this is because inflation is only bad for those who are consumers. It's not bad for those who own the asset. So if you own the liability, it's bad for you. If you own the asset, it's great for you. So if you own the businesses, the companies listed in the stock market, it's great for you. More money in the economy, people invest, more money for you. If you own the house that somebody is living in, better for you. You get to raise your rent prices. If you rent the house, then it's a liability to you, bad for you because the rent prices are higher. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And so you have to understand that, and here's the greed part. Well, inflation starts lowering, right? Starts going down. Then how come the prices didn't follow? How come the housing prices didn't crash? How come the car prices didn't crash? Why are these apartments that you didn't renovate, didn't order anything to? I can understand inflation with the supply chain. Hey, we renovated your apartment. We got new appliances, new this, new that. That's why it costs more. Okay, gotcha. Now that makes sense. But you didn't do anything. It's the same crappy apartment, same crappy floors, walls, windows, appliances, and my rent is, 50% increase. Explain that to me. Because you didn't have to bring anything in. So what are we talking about? So just think about stuff like that, right? And so with that in mind, now you understand why I call it greed. So there's a lot of greed. There's some inflation. There's probably more greed. It's just the way it is. People realize, or businesses realize, you're willing to pay that much. They're not going to change the price until you buck the system, right? Until you fight back and say no. I guarantee if you guys stop buying these houses, prices will go down. There'll be an oversupply. But you guys won't, because you're conditioned to spend. You're conditioned to buy. You're consumer minded. It's the first thing you think of is, how do I take this $1,000, this $1,000, and what can I buy with it? As opposed to, how can I take this $1,000 and try something different? What can I buy? What can I try? See, that's a different mindset. And so you're seeing families live in storages. You're seeing people lose their jobs overnight in their sleep. You could get fired in your sleep. It's that easy. A friend of mine, we were talking this weekend about how quickly things can turn around, like in the negative sense. That you can be sitting with your family, enjoying the weekend, relying on your job, go to bed Sunday night, get up Monday morning, drive to your job, and find out that your office, your floor is closed, or there's a lock on the door, or your badge is not working, or you get a Zoom call that morning and we need everybody in your department on that Zoom call. Right? And so this could happen to you. This could happen to anybody. So my advice is just this. It's, hey, now that you understand that anything could happen, you could be living in a storage unit, you could be living in an office, you could be living on a friend's couch, or you could, even worse, you could be living in your vehicle, sleeping in a park. Before this happens to you, because it can happen, and it is realistic, right, that it could happen to you. But before it does, because no job is safe, but before it does, why not protect yourself? You insure everything, but you won't insure you. Why not protect yourself, create an income that does not include your job, so that when I got a friend now, he's getting vending machines, look, if something happens to his job, and it very well likely will very soon, guess what? He's got some income coming in, right? It can help. Is it the same income from the job? I don't know. I'm just saying, and it's not even the income that's coming in that's the most important part of setting up another stream of income. It's the habit of establishing other streams of income that does not include a job. It's the habit. Once you establish the habit, it's going to be hard to break, because habits are hard to break. Now, you create positive habits, you're going to have a good life. And so I hope this video helps you. Let me know, guys, if you know anyone who's living in a storage or have been homeless, or if you yourself are facing difficult times. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. And if you have not subscribed to the channel and you do today, then go ahead, subscribe, and then let me know in the comments so I can give you a shout out. I appreciate everyone who watches, everyone who shares, everyone who subscribes. Hit thumbs up. Help me to grow this channel. But again, it's not the end of the world. We can do something about it right now while we still have time. And that thing is, look for other ways to make money that does not include a job. Look for opportunities. And I promise you, if you look, you're going to find them, because they're everywhere. Don't allow your job to control your finances 100%. Never allow yourself to be in that situation, right? You don't want to live in an office. You don't want to live in your car. I know that stuff looks cute and harmless and intriguing online and with these videos. I'm convinced most of them don't live the way they say they do, because I've lived out there, and you can't be happy about that. There ain't nothing. If you don't want to be out there, you cannot be happy about that. You ain't happy. Trust me. It's miserable. So, but if you want more content like this, let me know in the comments. If you have a video or something you'd like me to review, drop the link in the comments. Or if you want to get in the masterclass, learn how to build a business from your phone, because you need to learn how to make money without leaving your house. That's the best way to live. So you can be on the beach, you can be on vacation, and still get paid fully automated, working 1 hour a week. Then you need to be in the Middleman CEO Masterclass. Put the link in the comments below to get the free live training, and then I'll work with you to build your own business. You've seen the videos from the other students. I'll be excited to help you and grow your business. It's what I do. It's all I do. So let's get it done. All right, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with this video. See you guys in the next video. Peace.